Hi folks, how you doing? RussellTrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box. Got a couple free gifts there for you. Mind, body, spirit, fitness, putting the healing back in health. Because of course, the damage we've done in the past, we need to be able to heal from so we can move forward. Now this one's going to be on sleeping better. I've had issues sleeping since I can ever remember. You know, I probably started having my sleeping issues in high school, which of course is when the partying came in, so no wonder why, right? No wonder why. But I know a lot of people have issues with this. Mine is actually getting a little bit better once I started putting some of these into play. So I want to share some of these facts with you. Hopefully it's going to help you if you're having issues sleeping. So number one is going to be cutting out caffeine. And this is going to be hard for a lot of individuals. I know a lot of people that live off of this stuff. You know, my buddy's breakfast is an energy drink. I know people that drink 2, 3, 4 of these a day, or you're even drinking soda. So some way, shape, or form, you've got to be able to cut out caffeine, coffee, whatever. You know, you could be too sensitive to it. So maybe it's not have it after noon. Only have 1 cup of coffee. Switch to tea. You know, this could be a part of your pre-workouts if you're having that pre-workout at 6 o'clock at night before you go to the gym. Excuse me. So somehow you got to be able to cut out caffeine. I've switched just to tea in the morning. I don't even drink coffee anymore. But, you know, you've got to find out what works best for you. Now, what can happen is, you know, if your body's too sensitive, it's going to stay in your body longer than you think. Or, you know, just later, that's when you're tired, but your brain's awake and running. And that's because now maybe your own natural way of staying awake is kicked in. Even though your body is tired, the brain's still active and moving because now it's actually able to keep itself awake instead of being stimulated. So some way, shape, or form, you got to kick that caffeine. And it's going to be hard because you're going to be tired and grumpy and upset those next, you know, that next week trying to kick it. But once you've gotten rid of the caffeine, you'll be all right. You're going to make it. One thing that helps for me is eating carbs at nighttime. You know, a lot of people say on Thanksgiving, it's the turkey that makes you tired because of the tryptophan or whatever the amino acid is. Sorry, I should have looked it up. But really, it's the carbohydrate. Sorry. The carbohydrates have a lot of that tryptophan or whatever it might be that keeps you and makes you tired. So for me, a nice big carb meal helps me sleep well. When I was on the ketogenic diet for that month or two, I could not sleep to save my life. If I don't get carbs before I go to bed, I could not sleep, period. And I'm talking about healthy carbs, folks. You know, we're going to go with sweet potatoes, squash, beans, rice, things like that. We're not having, you know, macaroni, chips, cereal, anything like that. We want to make sure that we are having high quality carbs. You know, the slow release, the complex carbs that are going to stabilize that blood sugar. Because another thing I've heard with the carbohydrates, the reason why we can't sleep is because that blood sugar drops too low, so it wakes you up. So once again, it's quality carbs before bed. That no carbs after 6 or 8 to me is kind of BS. Unless your meal is at 6, then eat your carbs. But to me, it's just whenever. Just eat some quality carbs, and it helps me sleep a lot better. Next is smells, the aroma of the room. And the only one I could think of offhand was lavender. I didn't want to open up my laptop and look it up, but there are a few more smells that will help you sleep and calm and soothe your body. I know lavender was one of them. They'll say kind of spray it on your pillow. You know, I'm not going to advocate that just because you never know what chemicals are in that spray. So maybe like a candle or something, or make sure you've got something that's a high quality lavender, so you're not just spraying chemicals all over your pillow and then of course just putting something toxic right on your face. You might break out in acne or something. So just be careful of what you're spraying on your pillow if you're going to spray something. Next, supplements. We can go with teas. Of course, it's going to be chamomile is a big one, and then valerian root. You can also get the valerian root or the chamomile in pill form. Next would be melatonin. This one I've heard can be a little bit dangerous because the doses that you get in your bottle are too high. You're usually getting 3 milligrams, 10 milligrams when they say you really only need 1. And of course, for those who don't know, if I recall correctly, melatonin is a hormone. So once again, now you're just messing with the hormones of the body, which we all know can cause major damage to your body if you start to dabble in the hormones. So be careful, but do your research on that as well. Next is going to be removing all light. I don't know if you've ever noticed that when you're out hiking or you're camping or something like that, it's easy to go to sleep when the sun goes down, and it's easy to wake up when the sun comes up. That's the natural cycle. So we've got to be able to eliminate as much light from the room as possible, or at least lights from computer screens and TVs, and go with a more, I think it's an orangish light, maybe not yellow, but an orange light, I think. Something like that. Can't remember, like those salt crystals. I used to have one. I gave it to my buddy to give to his girlfriend. But those salt crystals is the correct type of light. So, light. Make sure you have drapes up in your room. We're shutting off the computers, the phones. None of that is in the bedroom. Save that for outside. No TV. Get that out. Next one is maybe have some type of a noise. People will use, a sleep CD of the forest, or maybe if you have a fish tank, that water trickling, or one of those mini waterfalls, an app for white noise or something like that. That'll help soothe you and help you sleep. Next would be read something. If you hate to read, before I was able to overcome, the not wanting to read, reading would make me fall asleep instantly. 5 minutes, I'd be asleep. So read something. If not, read something super boring. Pick up some scientific study and try to read it. I'm sure you'll fall asleep instantly. Right? Next, this one. For those who follow the channel, my father just passed away, so I inherited this Cali King Tempur-Pedic air mattress. I'd only ever slept on a full and the cheapest mattress I could buy. But once I got this bed, I was trying to sell it forever. No one wanted to purchase it because it is an expensive bed. But I finally lugged it up to the room. Takes up half my room. But, it does help me sleep better. So I'd have to say invest in a mattress for those who don't want to. All right? You're going to have to fork over a little bit of money for a better mattress. Maybe it's time to get a new one. That helped as well. Next, they're going to talk about room temperature. Here, I don't have air conditioning, so in the summer, it's just kind of baking. I'm just baking no matter what. I don't have AC. But I think they say it's anywhere between like 68 and 72 degrees is the perfect temperature for you to sleep in. So we want to make sure that the temperature is correct for you. Next, this one helps as well. While you're laying in bed, you can go a little meditation, a little bit of prayer. Help slow the mind down. I know when I lay down and I'm having difficulties going to sleep, the mind is just out of control. You're just thinking about whatever worries you have in your life, and it's preventing you from sleep, which is just going to carry over into the next day, making it another struggle. So calm your mind with some meditation and prayer. Next will be relaxing your body. So you can either do some stretching, some foam rolling before you go to bed, or as you lay there, kind of start at your feet and just imagine your feet relaxing, work up to your calves, feel the tension release from your calves into your legs, just up through your entire body, allowing each muscle in your body to relax, release that tension so you can get a good night's sleep. And last but not least, if you have difficulty sleeping and you finally get to sleep, and then you have to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom, that's a pain. Make sure you're not drinking any water before you go to bed, all right? And if you are waking up all the time, like I said, try the carbs. It works for me, Don't eat carbs throughout the day. Maybe just backload at the end of the day. Experiment. So once again, I hope this video helps. Some tips on how to sleep better. Once again, that's where progress is made in our sleep, rest and recovery for exercise, just being awake and available to the world the next day. So this is where you're going to achieve a lot of success. Quality sleep. Oh, I forgot, we're getting to bed before midnight. I've heard it said from a lot of people that every hour before midnight is the equivalent of 2 hours. For me, I go to bed between 9 and 10, and I'm up at about 4:30 in the morning to do my morning rituals. So I'm usually getting between 6 and 7 hours of sleep, which works for me a majority of the time. So once again, getting to sleep before midnight. So I hope this helps. Subscribe to the channel, share these videos with someone, and don't forget to hit that like button. All right?